want to scare him.
I'm gonna grab.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna jump.
No. Oh, that was so cool. Oh.
Nice job. Alright, go up to the front. Let's get
Immediately, right when I changed the color of my jig.
Hell yeah.
Look
That's
at
a good one.
Look at him.
He ain't even fight yet.
No. I'm just walking him like my little pet cobia.
Watch you don't go under the boat and break it off. He's gonna fight. Oh yeah, there he goes.
Oh! Taking his head.
Now he's running. Now he's coming alive.
That's it.
You want me to get the gas?
Yeah.
You ready? Or he ain't ready yet?
Well, he was. Look how it comes up to the surface.
Oh yeah.
That's one good way to know it's a cobia. They very, very typically come to the surface.
Alright, let me go get the gas. That's a good one. Oh yeah.
Very good to go.
Alright, stand back. I'm gonna try to get this on video.
Oh.
Oh.
We got it.
Hell yeah.
Oh, my favorite setup too. Oh, it's been a while since I've caught a cobia. It feels good. I've been wanting to catch one for a while.
Tell him, pink ain't always the way.
No, right, yeah, pink isn't always the way. And if you can see the beautiful water behind me, it is like a lake out here today. It's gorgeous. And the water is beautiful. Alright, we're gonna get my picture.
Take mine with him first, because I pulled that bait out for you.
Right.
So
But
really,
I
that's
picked
just
the
the only
one.
bit on mine.
I picked it. I could have chose between pink and green, and I chose green. And I tied it on, and I tied this whole setup myself.
Tell him what else I just caught on it.
Oh, and Lewis just caught a mangrove snapper too. That's a pretty nice one on a jig.
I mean,
That's a good one. Heck yeah.
that cobia, he's got to be 36 inches.
Yeah, we gotta have a 36-inch fish.
Which,
We have a measuring ruler right here.
yeah,
Here.
and that's 0, and
Oh, he's way beyond.
he's about 40.
way
probably.
beyond 36.
Probably about 40 inches, because that's on 0 right
Yeah,
there.
for
The
cobia,
tail.
it's to the fork.
To the
So that
inside of
means
the
the
fork.
inside of the tail. So we don't get to go to the tip of the tail, only the inside of the tail.
So he's 40 inches all day.
Yeah, he's good. I'm gonna put him in the box so we can get him on some ice, so he stays more fresh.
Make sure you slam his head to break that ice.
Okay.
Like, try to dive him down under it.
Is that good?
Yeah. Just push on him with your foot.
Oh, there we go.
There you go. Perfect.
There we go. He's nice and iced up.
Here, throw my fish in there
I'm
too.
gonna throw Lewis's fish in here. He got a beautiful, also really good eating mangrove snapper. Very delicious. Him too. He has thicker scales though. I don't like cleaning those as much. So we're only allowed one more cobia. Lewis is gonna get a turn, and then we're gonna head home and get these fish cleaned up and do some good stuff for dinner, hopefully.
fish box. You got your 2 holes so you can hold it?
No.
I like going mud ride.
Great. Okay, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. I hope you've been enjoying this video so far. Unfortunately, I did not capture the hookup of the cobia that I was catching in the video. If you heard me say though, I had been fishing with a different colored jig the whole afternoon, and right when I switched colors is when I got the bite finally. Immediately, right when I changed the color of my jig. So I was filming, and then I kind of gave up on filming because I wasn't getting any bites. And then, of course, when I get the bite, I'm not filming. So that's always how it goes. Unfortunately, did not capture that bite, but that fight was pretty awesome, and that was a beautiful cobia. I'm so excited to cook it today. So I love going thrifting. I love finding a good deal on old things that I can reuse and restore. So I was at a farmer's market one morning, and there was a tent there with all of these old books. And I found this stack of like old recipe books and a bunch of like fishing recipe books like this one. So I got this How to Cook Your Catch cookbook. It's small, it's thin, but it was published in 1963. And I just thought this was the coolest thing ever because there's all kinds of recipes in here for all different types of fish: mullet, catfish, pufferfish, mahi, pompano, bluefish, cobia, which is where our recipe is coming out of today. So I just wanted to share that with you, this super cool old book from the 60s of how to cook your catch. So let me show you the inside of this part with the cobia. It has a picture of a cobia, and then right underneath the description is just a little funny kind of thing they wrote. So I'm gonna read it to you. All called sergeant fish, oceanic catfish, ling, lemonfish, flathead, cubby ewe, crab eater, coalfish, coveco, garbio, cabio, black salmon, black bonito. Average size 12 pounds, largest on record 102 pounds, fat. I thought it was funny how they named all those nicknames for cobia, because I've only heard of ling and lemonfish, but I've never heard any of those other names. So let me know in the comments below if you've heard any of those other nicknames for cobia. I'm really curious to hear where they're all from. And then the largest on record at the time was 102 pounds, and actually it's been broken in 1985. The world record cobia is 135 pounds, caught in Australia. So that's pretty cool too, the old world record from 1963. And also I love how they wrote fat after that link. Okay, so there's different recipes of just a few under the cobia section. I chose cobia in sour cream sauce. It seemed like the best one, most simple and delicious, and also healthy. I am currently eating Whole30 diet. If you haven't heard of Whole30, please go check it out. It's definitely my favorite way to eat. One issue is you can't eat dairy while you're doing Whole30. So I'm going to make a cashew-based, dairy-free sour cream sauce. I've been soaking these cashews overnight, and I'm about to make the sour cream. I don't think I'm gonna share that part just because it has nothing to do with really the recipe, and I really feel like most people who watch don't wanna eat cashew sour cream. You probably want to go buy regular sour cream. So that's completely up to you. I'll put the recipe though for the cashew sour cream in the description if you're interested. I like it. It's not the same as sour cream, but it's still really good. So I'm gonna make that real quick, and then I will get right back to you once I'm done with that. So I have my cleaned up pieces of cobia right here. It is awesome because it is very firm. It's very steak-like. It's not gonna easily fall apart on you, so it's great for the grill. Heartier things you can do with it, just like swordfish kind of in a way. A lot of people will tell you that cobia is their favorite fish to eat. I know a lot of people who say cobia is their favorite. Personally, it's not one of my top favorites. I do love it, I do enjoy it. I've cooked it before in really delicious ways. I just would not put it at my top, but I do enjoy it quite a bit. It's not my least favorite fish. So, what you're gonna need now is I've got, let's see, how does this look? I've got a pan set up here. We're gonna use one pan. You don't need a whole bunch of different pans. You're gonna start by warming up some butter in the pan and then cooking the onions until they turn tender. Then when you're done cooking those onions, you're gonna set them off to the side and then place your fish into the pan. But before you do that, we're kind of doing a little bit of a batter today. So for your batter for your fish, you're gonna get your flour out, some paprika, and some, where'd it go? Some pepper. Sorry, I got the wrong spice out here. So I'm gonna pour into just a bowl, an area where you can bathe the fish in the batter. Some flour, and use enough for the size of the fillets that you have, enough for the amount of fillets that you have. I don't have very much today. I love paprika, so I don't mind doing a little extra. And then the pepper. And then, you know, the recipe doesn't call for any other spices, but I'm gonna go ahead and add some onion powder and garlic powder. I'm sure that you can add whatever seasonings you like to this little kind of batter mixture that we're about to do. So I'm just gonna give that a nice stir so it's all evenly mixed throughout the flour. And I like to get this part done before I turn my heat on and everything, just so I'm ready to go once those onions come off, because the onions are gonna cook pretty fast. So I'm gonna just dip the fish fillets in the batter, just like you'd batter anything, like chicken, any other kind of fish. And this coconut flour actually coats the fish really well. If you've never tried it before and if you like the flavor of coconut, I highly recommend you try to switch out some regular flour for the coconut flour. I found mine at my local grocery store. A lot of grocery stores have it now. All right, I'm just making sure each piece is coated. It doesn't have to be too thick. Just make sure you get it coated evenly on there. All the sides. Beautiful. Okay, so now that's ready to go once I'm done with the onions. Say I didn't do that before I did the onions, then my heat's on, my pan's getting hot, and then I gotta do all this while my pan's kind of sitting there waiting for me. I like to be prepared and have them ready to go. So I'm gonna set that aside, we don't need that anymore, and get the pan turned on. Okay, so get your cooking oil out, turn your pan onto like a medium-high heat. I have some ghee today, which is clarified butter. You can use butter, you can use whatever type of oil that you like. Just gonna do a little bit. And when that melts, then I'm gonna be ready to put my onions in, and then the onions are gonna cook and get nice and tender, and then I can add the fish, and then we'll go from there. If you've been following me on my channel for a while, you know that I love to eat healthy. It is really the way I eat most of the time. I love sharing my healthy recipes with you, even though it might not be the most popular. Like the other day, I made a lobster mac and cheese on my Instagram story, and I got so much feedback from it. Everyone was like sending me fire emojis and like, you know, wow, yum. It looks amazing, but you know, it's macaroni and cheese. I don't normally eat macaroni and cheese. It was actually my last meal before I started my Whole30, but I got so much feedback from it. I feel like everyone loves the unhealthier recipes, the more comfort food type stuff, but I want to keep promoting healthy eating habits, because the older I get, the more and more I realize how important it is to take care of your body. And that number one starts with food. Absolutely starts with what you put in your mouth. So if I can inspire one person to maybe substitute something, you know, bad for you with something good for you, then I feel like I've done what I set out to do. Anyway, this pan feels warm enough. Let's add our onions. The onions are looking almost there. I like when it's got this nice little sizzle going. You can tell they're getting a lot more clear and soft. Here is my battered cobia, ready to go. And this is the sour cream that I made with the cashews. It's really good. It's not exactly like real sour cream, but it's a great substitute, and I love, absolutely love cashew-based dairy products or dairy recipes. So good. And be sure to get out your crushed sweet basil, get that ready for when you do the fish. My onions are definitely ready, so I'm going to take these off the pan and put them to the side, and we're gonna leave that nice onion flavored butter and avocado oil in there for the fish. So my pieces of cobia are about 1 inch thick. Depending on the thickness of your cobia fillets or whatever fish you're using for this recipe is gonna depend on how long you cook it for. It's like all types of fish, all types of things. You don't wanna overcook it. It's gonna ruin it. It's gonna be all tough and chewy. So for these, I'm gonna maybe do about 3 minutes, and make sure you keep an eye on it. I'm gonna time it right here. 3 minutes per side, and see how that turns out. And don't touch them, just leave them there. And here is my bowl of delicious cooked onions. All right, grab your tongs and let's flip these guys over. Oh, look at that, yum. Okay, so that's what they look like. Beautiful. And I'm gonna set that right there and then do another 3 minutes on that side. And then we're gonna be ready to top them with our sour cream, our cooked onions, and some crushed sweet basil. Okay, so the timer just went off, 3 minutes. And I'm gonna lower my heat now to low. And then I'm gonna get some of the sour cream that I made and just put a dollop of daisy. Even though I don't have any daisy sour cream right now. Spread it on there, make it pretty. And then I'm gonna add my onions back over the top. And last, my basil, my sweet crushed basil for a little extra flavor. Looks beautiful. All right, and then I'm gonna cover it like that and set my timer for about, let's see, 5 minutes on a low heat. Remember, we're just at a simmer right now. We're not gonna try to keep cooking the fish harder. All right, my timer just went off. I'm ready to take it off the stove here, off the, All right. Oh my gosh, it looks gorgeous. Let me put it on a plate for you. Well, let me take it off the heat first. Actually, hold on. The book gives you directions to how to know if your fish is done. Of course, you can probably guess what it says. Fish is done when it flakes easily with a fork. And I don't think that is the best method for figuring out whether or not your fish is done cooking or not. I like to get something like this, like a toothpick or a skewer or like a sharp fork, and send it into the meat, into the thickest part. And if it goes through smoothly, your fish is done. You can take it out, cover up that little hole, and then no one knows that you flaked it. You didn't flake it with a fork, and no one knows that you pulled it apart. When you go to check to see if the fish is done, if it's not done, you will feel some rubbery resistance in the middle or wherever it hits, then you know it's not done. But I just did the test. It slid right through. It seems perfect. So let me take it off right now. Let's do it again on one other piece. Oh, beautiful. And look, I can cover that little hole up and no one will know that I've been testing to see whether or not it's done, and you can present the fish to your guests or your family. Beautiful. You don't have to worry about pulling your fish apart with a fork. After it's done, and let me show you a little demonstration of how how to test if your fish is done. So this piece is pretty thick. I'm gonna test it right here in the middle. And it goes through very nice and smooth. I didn't feel any resistance. There's a little hole right there, but I can cover that up with a little piece of onion. And no one will know that you checked it. Which piece do I want to try first? I think I might go for this piece. It's got the most onions on it. Oh, look at that. She just fell right apart. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be so good. Oh my God, look at that. I hope your house smells as good as mine right now. Oh my gosh, this is a freaking treat. That is gorgeous. So yours might look maybe a little bit different than mine if you use real sour cream. I am really excited to dig into it with the cashew sour cream, a little bit of onions. And then of course I didn't make a side today to go with it, but with this dish you could put anything on the side. You could do vegetable, potatoes, you could do some rice with it. That would be really good, I think. But okay, that's enough. Let's taste it. And I cooked it just right too, not overdone. So it also says that you can garnish it with some parsley, which I think would be also very delicious. I just didn't have any today. You guys, this was fun. I really hope you get a chance to try this old recipe from this book from the 1960s. It's really fun and interesting. I hope to do a lot more different recipes out of it in the future with different types of fish. And let me know if you guys tried this recipe. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on it. You could really probably do this with any type of fish. It's just delicious. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this one. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you all in my next video.